Everybody? This is the MOBC, my own boxing community. Well, like I always do, I like to give it a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks or two. That way I could assess the boxing match, watch a few boxing videos and their opinions on the fight, their review on the fight, and read the comments and see what the comments is talking about. That's what I like to do. Rodolfo, salute. And I watched the Canelo fight live. And I watched it again, not the following day, but I watched it the second or third day after the fight. Okay? Now, I had Canelo winning comfortably, okay? Comfortably on the first watch. And when I watched it again, I had Canelo winning again comfortably, okay? And now I've seen people in the comments, even popular uploaders that have thousands and thousands of subscribers, say that William Scull won this fight. Now, what's up, Quag? Salute, man. Salute. Yeah, everything's good, brother. Everything's good. Now, I've watched this fight. Okay, it's a lot of popular uploaders up there. And I know that there's a dislike for Canelo. I get it. We all want to see him fight Benavidez. We all feel like he's ducking Benavidez. I'm with you guys on that. He ducked Benavidez. You complain that William Scull is gonna run, and he runs, and you don't fight him, and then you get stripped, and then you have to fight him, and then he runs, and you complain that he ran, but you could have fought Benavidez, who isn't gonna run. I mean, you literally contradicted. This is why boxers sometimes need a PR so they can help you when you get interviewed, so that you could say the right things that don't incriminate you. Saying that you don't want to fight or didn't like to fight with Scull and you knew you wasn't going to like it because he's a runner is telling us then you should have fought Benavidez, who wasn't going to run. That's my brother right there, Jay Cruz. Salute. Salute, salute, salute. That's my brother, my real bro right there. One of my day ones. You know what I'm saying? So you contradict yourself when you say, oh, I don't want to fight William Scull because he's going to run, but Benavidez is not going to run, so why didn't you fight him? And now we got uploaders, okay? Uploaders out there right now, popular ones, and in the comment sections, saying that William Scull outboxed you. Now, I've been watching boxing for a long time. And there is a difference between boxing and running. I don't care what anyone says, okay? Just because you're fighting off the back foot and you're doing lateral movements and you're going in circles. I mean, there was times when William Scull would actually go in circles for 20 seconds of the round, throw a jab here and there. Now, when you watch that fight, I'm watching it on the big screen at home. And then I watched it again on my cell phone. Now, you could imagine how big Scull looks on the big screen, right? I got a 52-inch TV. Okay? I'm watching it on my iPhone on the second watch, and William Scull looked gigantic. How embarrassing that with the size that you got, you didn't walk Canelo down. How embarrassing is it that you went and ran in circles through a few jabs here and there, when all you got is somebody following you with a high guard throwing one or two punches at a time? So everyone is complaining that Canelo didn't cut off the ring. Canelo couldn't cut off the ring. He cut off the ring. I don't know what fight y'all watch. He cut off the ring a few times. He cut off the ring. But William Scull was out of the way. Canelo couldn't close. You can't close the distance when the guy is literally running away. I mean, you saw the Chavez and Pernell Whitaker fight, one of the hardest fights to score. That's boxing 101. You didn't see Pernell Whitaker running and not throwing any punches. It was two guys throwing punches, two guys with good defense. And we had a classic fight. William Scull was in there looking like the damn dude from 300 standing next to Canelo. What's the guy named from 300? Cersei or some... He looked gigantic. It was like Thor standing in front of Ant-Man when Ant-Man shrinks down to the little tiny ant. And you didn't walk Canelo down. You were bigger than Canelo, naturally 168 pounder, way more than the 168 limit on fight night. I'm sure at close to 190. Stronger, younger. I know that you're physically stronger. I don't know if you have more power. You obviously don't have more power, but you're physically stronger. Because in boxing, it ain't always about the punching power. You could have less power, but still be physically stronger than the other guy, and you could beat the guy. Muhammad Ali was physically stronger than George Foreman. Maybe you couldn't punch him, but he was physically stronger than him. He was pushing him. He's pushing him. He was clinching him. What we saw there was running. Stop saying that that's boxing. We live in a time of boxing era where, I made a video on it. You could go back to my past videos. I made a video. It's called "The Boxer is Overrated." Go back on it. I talk about it. That man ran in circles, and everybody's trying to blame Canelo because he didn't cut off the ring. He cut off the ring. But again, Canelo was 70 fights in. He's not at his best. He can't close the gap like he used to. That's all it is. And William Scull, listen, there's a difference between boxing and surviving. We saw someone in there who was surviving because we live in a social media era where people could make videos and you could get to the comment sections and there will be those few sprinkles of fools saying that Scull won. And he's happy with that. But we all watched the same fight. William Scull didn't win anything. Listen, I'm not one of those guys who, like, there's people out there who try to nitpick. Well, he landed one more shot. In this round, he landed one more shot. Therefore, no. You don't win a round just because you landed one more shot. Oh, you ran for 2.5 minutes and then you land one shot. So you win that round? Nah. We're not doing that. And the judges know that they weren't doing that. The minute that they saw William Scull running the first 4 or 5 rounds, they already had it in the bag that they're not going to score this guy any rounds. Let's just keep it a buck. He wasn't going to win no rounds the minute that they saw Scull round 1 running, round 2 running, round 3 running. They said, yeah, nah, he ain't winning this. I don't know how y'all think he won this fight. It's a 12-round fight. You think he won 8 rounds out of 12? 7 rounds out of 12? 9 rounds out of 12? How many rounds did Scull win? What's going on with the boxing fans? Like I said, here at the MOBC, my own boxing community, we keep it fair and down the middle. I'm not a Canelo fan. I'm not a Benavidez fan. I'm a fan of boxing. And that wasn't boxing. Anybody watch Bernard Hopkins versus Trinidad? That was boxing. That's boxing. That wasn't boxing what we saw. Barrera versus Nazim Hamed. That's boxing. What we watched was a guy train Canelo to be prepared to go 12 rounds with Crawford. That's all that was. He prepared he prepared Canelo for a Crawford fight. Canelo was in there with a giant. And Crawford is not going to look like Scull. Crawford has longer arms. Crawford is taller. But he's not going to look like Scull in there, who looked like the Thing from Fantastic Four, standing next to Invisible Woman. Again, I don't know what's going on with the space of boxing, but this is unacceptable. Now, I want to talk about you boxing fans who try and say that because some of us, and I'm one of them, the MOBC here is allowed to say a fight is boring. There's boxing fans out there trying to tell other fans out there trying to tell the MOBC that you don't appreciate the sport of boxing. That when you watch Haney and Ramirez, how can you not enjoy the sport of boxing? He was boxing. De Los Santos and Shakur, they displayed boxing. No, those fights were boring. And so was Canelo and Scull. You can't tell boxing fans what to like and dislike. If you like watching Devin Haney all jittery and nervous and moving his feet all over the place like he's doing the twist and shout dance, if you think that's exciting, then that's your prerogative. You're entitled to that. Just like the MOBC is entitled to not like it. Right? If there's a movie, let's say, I'll give an example. Let's say, I'll just throw any movie out there. Scarface, Al Pacino Scarface, right? Everybody loves that movie. So it's a cult classic, right? The movie is trash. That movie is trash. It's a comedy. You got a bunch of Italian dudes and white dudes acting like they're Cuban. No one looked Cuban. The accent was garbage. The movie is trash. But it's a cult classic. Right? I'm entitled to think that the movie is trash. I don't have to like what you like. That goes for boxing. If I'm watching a guy throw 8 punches around, how can that be showing me elite boxing? That's not elite boxing. Elite boxing is Lomachenko. Elite boxing is Inoue. Elite boxing is Usyk. Elite boxing is Keyshawn Davis. That's boxing. You don't have to fight off the back foot and that is considered quote unquote boxing. You could be a fighter that comes forward and box and outbox the other guy. Where have you guys been? Throughout history, there's been fighters who come forward and outboxes the guy on the back foot. The back foot doesn't always equate to boxing. Time and time again, you new age boxing fans seem to think that, oh, if a guy is coming forward, he's just a brawler. He's just a brawler. Go watch the Tasmanian Devil. I forgot. I can't get his name out. Vinny Pazienza or whatever. The Tasmanian Devil. He's coming there with the funny hair versus Pernell Whitaker. Another hard fight to score. because there's two elite boxers in there. One coming forward and the other one going backwards, but they're throwing punches. They're slipping each other's punches. They're giving each other angles. That's boxing. Running around in a circle, throwing one or two jabs, making sure that the gap between us is 12 feet apart. That's not boxing. That is running, and there is a such thing as running in the sport of boxing. Again, us boxing fans, we don't have to like what you like. Period. Some people like to watch. I've seen channels where they all of a sudden they don't like watching brawls. They want to see sweet science. There's a sweet science in some of the brawls too. You guys just don't see it because you're too busy thinking rock'em sock'em. You're too busy thinking, oh, this is a come forward fighter. This is just a come forward fighter. Didn't we watch Tank Davis struggle with Pitbull Cruz, who literally throws the same hooks over and over again? And Tank Davis struggled with that guy. Struggled. Because he didn't know how to properly box the guy throwing one punch. Not like the way that other kid beat him. Romario, whatever the heck his name is. So, when it comes to boxing, it's not just a jab and a 1-2 and then running away. You guys see Lomachenko giving guys angle. You see what Inoue is doing in the ring? Not only is he in there boxing beautifully and stalking his prey, he's getting off the canvas and he's stopping dudes. Is that not boxing? That's why I have Inoue. I would never put William Scull on my pound-for-pound list. I mean, I've seen videos where he got more skills than everybody. You see Canelo couldn't do it. You can't do anything to somebody when they're running. We saw Inoue's last fight. He displayed elite boxing. And that's why he's on a lot of people's pound-for-pound list, number one, including mine. I only have one person on my pound-for-pound list, and that is Inoue. I don't have Usyk on there. I don't have Tank Davis on there. I don't have Abdullah Mason on there based off the eye test. I don't have Boots on there based off the eye test. I don't have Canelo on there. Excuse me. I got Inoue on the pound-for-pound list, and that's it. Because we only need one. Why do we have to have 20 pound-for-pound fighters on there? But when it comes to trying to win an undisputed champion and become an undisputed champion, Scull had the opportunity to become the undisputed champion and disrupt the fight between Crawford and Canelo. And you blew it. You blew it. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, if Scull would have won, Crawford wouldn't fight Scull. He wouldn't be able to beat him. He's too big. Why you think Crawford and Scull didn't fight each other? They made Canelo fight him because it was a guarantee that Canelo was going to win. Wouldn't it have been better if Crawford fought Scull, beat him, and now you're going into the fight against Canelo as a champion at 168? But we all know that he can't beat Scull. Let's keep it a buck. He can't beat Scull. He's too big. You saw the Madrimal fight. And we know what's going to happen. Crawford is going to fight just like Scull. Just like Scull. And depending on who the judges like on that night, That's who's going to win. Salute Antonio Mosley. Hello, everyone. I thought there was 10 fighters on the pound-for-pound list. There probably is, not on the MOBC. MOBC got one guy on the pound-for-pound list, and that's Inoue. That's it, period, point blank. Inoue. Maybe Bam Bam Rodriguez. Maybe Bam Bam. Second. I don't know. But the guys in the lower weight division, they're fighting. They're hungry. And no one is crying over purse bids. I got Inoue on my pound-for-pound list. Above Tank, above Shakur, above Haney. Definitely above Ryan Garcia, that bum. I got him above Canelo. I got him above Usyk. Usyk is in the heavyweight division recycling. There's a whole plethora of new age heavyweights he could fight. He want to fight the Dubois. Now, I do believe Dubois' punch was legal. But you lost. And before the knockdown, the quote unquote low blow, you was losing. So unless Dubois got a lot of momentum on his back, and there's the layoff that Usyk has been on, I got Usyk winning that fight. But I got Inoue as number one. Definitely don't have Canelo as number one. Not with that performance, because it's a two-way street. Now, earlier I just said, yeah, maybe he too old to capitalize on cutting the ring. Maybe he is. But somebody got to throw punches. That fight was boring because both of them. But more so Scull. More so Scull. You in there looking like Lou Ferrigno. You in there looking like the Terminator when he was walking butt naked, asking people for their jackets. Way bigger than Canelo, and you didn't walk him down. You didn't walk him down. You didn't impose your size. You didn't show him that you're the true 168-pounder, and I'm fighting a guy who started out at 147, who's naturally a 160-pounder in my opinion. Canelo's a natural 160. Weight bully at 154. Weight bully kind of at 160. Comfortable at 168. Too small for 175. But Scull was the bigger man in that fight. And if I was Scull trainer, I'd have said, no, you better walk him down. You better walk him down. Bully him and walk him down. But you couldn't even do that. Just big for nothing. Just big for nothing. And then at the end, you want to act like you won. You jumped on the corner and you raising your hand. You raised your hand not out of victory. You raised your hand because you lasted 12 rounds. Well, so did Munguia. So did Berlanga. The difference is, though, they fought. What they did was way better than what you did, Scull. Fight Berlanga. Fight Munguia. I got both of them beating you. They're going to beat you out of activity. But I doubt if you fight any one of them. Probably one of Canelo's worst performances. I think Scull was in for the money. Yeah, he was definitely in for the money. He was there to prepare Canelo for a 12-round fight with Crawford. I'm seeing people thinking Crawford going to knock out Canelo. Crawford going to, school him. I don't know what Crawford going to do. I could only guess until they fight. And I got Canelo winning. I got Canelo winning. It all, like I said, it all depends on who the judges like, because that fight is going 12. Make no mistake, that fight is going 12. Make no mistake that fight is going 12. No one's getting stopped. No one is getting stopped. But somebody is going to be a victory. Somebody going to win. Because in my opinion, They pulling the Floyd versus Mayweather. This going to be a $300 million sparring session. That's what I believe. But we got to distinguish boxing and running. They're two different things. Totally different. Right? When you watch MMA and the two guys are either on the ground for too long or they're leaned up against the cage for too long and the referee is not really breaking it up, the referee, that is a, they're trying to fight for position. At least they're trying to fight for dominant position, at least. But that is equivalent to a boxing match that doesn't have much action. Right? But they're still trying to establish dominance in a certain position. In boxing, that would be cutting off the ring, being more active, throwing more punches against the guy that's running. The guy that's, if he's running, he doesn't plan on fighting back. He doesn't plan on engaging. And if I'm Canelo's trainer, I would have said, step on the gas. This guy don't want to fight. Heck, all you got to do is swing. You're going to win the decision anyway. Crawford to Canelo. No, Canelo chin is too tough. Crawford can throw combos, but he's not hurting Canelo. You're only as good as your last fight. Crawford is 37. At 154, he didn't have the strength like he usually has. And I seen him take a lot of punches from Madrimov that I don't see him using. Now, don't make no mistake. Crawford isn't no defensively sound fighter, but I just never seen him take that many hits like he did against someone who wasn't even throwing a lot of punches. See, that's the part that makes me pick Canelo. Even though Crawford won, and I thought Crawford won, you still got hit a lot against a guy who did more feinting than throwing punches. If Madrimov capitalized more on a lot of those feints, he probably would have won the decision. No notification promotions. YouTube got to get it together. What up, though? UGC Flames, salute. Hey, man, you know how it is when you the MOBC, you know what I mean? The MOBC is basically the king of the YTBC, you know what I mean? So, they don't want to send, they don't want to send the notifications out there to my brothers out there. No, I'm just kidding, man. I ain't the king of the YTBC, but I am the king over these suckers out there who don't know what they talking about Scull won. I'm definitely the king over them because Scull didn't win nothing. All he did was run. That's all he did. He had on his little Hulkers. He had on this little hulking little shoes, the Hulkers, and got to booking. That's what he did. Yeah, bro, they be hurt. They be hating on you, fam. Hey, you know what? They be tripping. I noticed that too with some people that I'm sub to because I know I got notifications on yours. Sometimes I don't be getting it. I got notifications on Bloods. Sometimes I don't be getting it. I got notifications on Bruce's. Sometimes I don't be getting it. So YouTube just be tripping, man. YouTube really be tripping out there. I don't know, man. The MOBC might have to make a video on YouTube. Feel me? The MOBC might have to get on YouTube because YouTube, you be allowing suckers making videos and they don't be talking about nothing, getting 20,000, 50,000 views. And then when somebody real like the MOBC, like the UGC come along, when we come along, when 86 Boxing come along, y'all don't want to give us no views. Y'all better give us some views. Them the real 86 Boxing is the real channel out there, right? UGC Boxing, these are real channels out there. Stop playing, YouTube. I'm going to get on y'all too. Straight up. I'm going to have y'all running like Scull. Have y'all doing the twist and shout dance that Devin Haney was doing versus Ramirez. That's what I'm going to have YouTube doing. Crawford last opponent was a very good fighter. Crawford fought someone who knows how to fight. The Scull didn't No, he existed. How did Skull become a champion? Well, Canelo, yeah, Madrimov is a good fighter, although I was disappointed in his performance against Ortiz. I picked Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz, to win that fight because simple fact that Madrimov is not active enough. He is not active enough, but he is a good fighter. More punches, capitalize on your feints. Okay, I believe Canelo relinquished the belt in 2024 to fight Skull. I believe Skull was his mandatory, and he turned the fight down. He lost the belt. Skull fought another guy. I believe it's like a European dude. He fought another guy, wins the IBF, and then Canelo now has to fight Crawford, but they need to sell the fight as an undisputed. They need to promote the fight as Crawford trying to become a three-time undisputed. Because let's be real, this whole fight is the selling point is Crawford being a three-time undisputed champion. So Canelo had to fight Skull so he could be undisputed again. It was a guaranteed win. Like I said before earlier in this video, and I said it in the comments, if they really wanted to sell this fight, Skull and Crawford should have fought. Crawford's beat Skull, and now the selling point is Crawford is a champion at 168, and now he could fight for undisputed going into the fight as a champion, but they didn't because it's a risky fight, and I do believe Skull would have beat Canelo. Skull would have beat Crawford. There's weight classes for a reason. Now, with that being said, Canelo is older. He's a lot smaller than Skull. So we don't know how much left is in the tank on both of those fighters. These are two fighters that are past their prime. Crawford's past his prime. Canelo is past his prime. I don't care who wins. I don't care who wins. I just know that this is going to be a Mayweather versus Floyd. That's what I think. A heist. Undefeated most feared YTBC member is back in another 820 winner. Ain't even a debate. Salute Tony, man. Tony be coming through there with these. Hey, Tony, man, last time you said I was 1,000 in Owen debates. How the heck did my numbers went low? Now 821. That's an insult, man. You know how many people I crushed in the YTBC? All of them. Oh, 730. I feel you, man. I feel you, man. Me and Tony got Canelo winning. Me and Tony got Canelo beating Crawford. I mean, listen. Crawford knows he's... Can you imagine if he stayed at 154? To become undisputed down at 154, you got to go through the trenches. That's a division that's stacked. It's easy fighting Canelo. You only got to fight one dude. One dude that's past his prime. So yeah, props to Crawford if he wins, but you only fought one dude. While Canelo fought everyone on there outside of Benavidez, that duck. But at least we know Canelo put in the work. That's why he didn't stay at 154. Because you got to put in work down there because he's too old. By the time he get up, if it was to happen, by the time he get an undisputed fight, he'd be going on 39. Because we know he ain't going to fight 2 times a year. He fights once a year. You feel me? Nello by brutal beatdown. Yeah, I don't know about brutal beatdown because I feel like Crawford is going to fight similar to Scull. Just going to be a little bit more active than Scull. A little bit more active than Scull. But I think that fight's going to go 12. Nello clear out 154 and was, yeah, he did. He did. You know what I mean? I'm bold. I'll say Canelo wins by stoppage. Body shots is what I'm thinking. It could be a stoppage, you know. It could be a stoppage. I mean, he didn't stop Munguia. He didn't stop Berlanga. He didn't stop Scull. But these are big dudes. Crawford. Crawford is a big welterweight, but he won't be a big 168 pounder, right? Charlo is a big 154 fighter, and he looked very comfortable at 168 because that's probably what his real weight class would be, right? But he just isn't good enough for Canelo. So Crawford he's going to be small. He's going to be slower. And he's going to be I think he's going to be less active. He wasn't super busy with Madrimov. And these are going to be harder punches and someone with better head movement than Madrimov. Someone more seasoned than Madrimov. I got Canelo winning. But like I said, it's going to go 12. And I don't know what the judges are looking at. We're not going to know what judges are looking at. And we're not going to know who the judges like. Right? Charles D, salute. Salute, salute, salute. We don't know. We just don't know. But to get back to the topic, we got to stop with this back foot is automatically boxing. Because that wasn't boxing. You survived 12 rounds. I remember there was a fight. I wonder if you guys remember when Nonito Donaire fought this one guy. He was shorter than Donaire. I feel like this fighter was from Argentina. I'm not sure. But it was like the guy was in survival mode the whole fight to the point where the announcers was getting frustrated. And when they went to the corner of this fight of Donaire's opponent, you know what he said to his trainer? He said, it doesn't matter if I win. It doesn't matter if I lose. He loses because I got 12 rounds out of this fight. Let me repeat that. He specifically told his trainers, it doesn't matter if I lose. He loses because the fight go 12 rounds. Because he was in there to survive. And that's exactly what Scull was doing. And you can make an argument and say that's what Haney was doing. He just happened to win the fight. You could survive a fight and win. Scull just wasn't able to do that. That's all it is. After seeing Canelo's last performance, I got it 50-50. Yeah, I had it 50-50 on the first announcement even before seeing it. Because Canelo's just not the same fighter anymore. But, Crawford isn't either. Ain't no way Crawford's supposed to look like that against a guy that got 10 professional fights. No way. It happens. Listen, let me take that back. It happens. I'm just saying for the sake of this fight. But, hey, y'all, it's going to be a heist. I'm telling y'all, I feel like it's going to be a heist. I feel like they're going to pull a Floyd Mayweather on us. Straight up. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. That BS fight. $1 million sparring session. That's exactly what Floyd and Manny did. That was a $300 million exhibition. And now we got Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement to fight Barrios because somebody got in his ear and told him that the 147 division is trash, and it is trash. So he gonna come back. You can't make this up. Inactivity from Crawford could be a factor. Yeah. Listen, Black, Inactivity could be a factor. It could hurt Crawford. And also too much activity from the older guy and past his prime guy in 70 fights, Canelo. Too much activity can hurt him. So it's one of those. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. But like if you younger and you not active, it definitely hurts you. But if you older and you're not active, it could hurt you. It could also preserve you, right? So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the fighter. And I do believe Canelo been in a lot of fights, but man, nothing was taken out of him versus the Scull fight. Like, you was supposed to make Canelo work hard to win. Give Crawford a little boost, an alley-oop, but you didn't do that. You helped him with his cardio. Turkey will rob Nello if he can. The rematch makes unheard of money. Yeah, probably. Listen, I wouldn't. Hey, I don't know. I don't want to go into conspiracies, but promoters is all the same. I don't care who it is. It's all about the money. I know a lot of people out there is praising Turkey and all that, and that's fine. He's giving us all of these good fights, but that last card was trash. It's not his fault. Not his fault. But it was trash. But it is always about the money. At the end of the day, it's all about the money. That's why I feel like, listen, I feel like it's going to be a heist. I'm telling y'all, I feel like it's going to be a heist. Y'all saw what Floyd and Manny did. People don't even go back and watch that fight. Oh, we'll go back and watch Arturo Gatti and Ward right now. No problem. Heck, I'll go back and watch Diaz and Paulie Malignaggi right now. No problem. Good fight. I don't go back to watch no Floyd and Manny. That was trash. Scull will never get another big payday. He made $2 million. Enjoy him. Scull was in there looking like Optimus Prime, standing next to one of the humans on the streets. He was gigantic. He was gigantic. You feel me? Straight up. It's like Bicoli standing next to Nick Ball. That's what it looked like. It looked like Nick Ball was fighting Bicoli in there. And you didn't try to walk Canelo, then walk him down. You the big man, bully him. But you couldn't do it. You had to go on and fight like Laura at 154. Hey, listen, it cracked me up when I see people up there saying Laura beat Canelo. That's one of the funniest things I ever heard of. How? How, Sway? How? By throwing jabs in the air? Pity patting? I don't know what's going on, man. Manny was never equipped to be competitive with a fighter like Floyd. Hey, I don't know about that because at the end of the day, they didn't fight at their best. So I can't say whether he's equipped or not because last time I checked, DeMarcus Corley broke Floyd Mayweather's nose and had him doing the Uchi Wally Wally dance up in there. And DeMarcus Corley ain't nowhere near close as Manny Pacquiao. So ain't no way. So I don't know about that. All I know is they fought past their prime. And in the fourth round, when Manny Pacquiao was giving Floyd the beats and didn't follow the script, he said he blew his shoulder out. So I don't know what's going on. But I do remember DeMarcus Corley giving Floyd Mayweather the business at the southpaw stance. Gave him the business. Gave Cotto the business too. Everybody remember that? Does anybody remember when DeMarcus Corley had Cotto doing the funky dance too? Had him in there doing the funky chicken. Straight up. After Chop Chop landed, Floyd put the beats on him. Yeah, he did. He put the beats on him. But he didn't put the beats on Manny. No, he didn't. He didn't put the beats on Manny. That crap fight. This fight was crap. Straight up. But I'm waiting on Canelo and Crawford. Trust me, guys. I don't know who you betting on, but I can guarantee you someone is going to fight off the back foot. Someone is going to be going in circles. I want y'all to think about something, right? If you've watched Scull's fights, he didn't run like the way he runs. He didn't run like that. Berlinga. Y'all watch Berlinga fight? When the last time y'all saw Berlinga boxing? Canelo, Crawford isn't a back foot fighter. Crawford comes forward. You think he gonna try to walk Canelo down? You think that's the game plan? Bomac already said, our game plan is to box. Go find it. It's on YouTube right now. Go find the interview. He already said it. We're gonna box Canelo. Because they know he's too big. They know he's too strong. They plan on boxing Canelo. He said it. Go find the interview. It's on one of them interviews. I don't know who it is. I don't want to promote. I only promote the local boxing channel. I don't promote the big channels out there. Just find it. He said, we gonna box Canelo. What that mean? In this era. They're gonna fight just like Scull. They watching Laura fight. They watching Floyd fight. And now they're gonna watch the Scull fight. But the difference is Canelo is way more seasoned than when Floyd fought him, than when Laura fought him. He's more seasoned, but he's slowed down. That's the key. The key is hoping that Father Time catches up to Canelo. However, Father Time could catch up to Crawford as well. It's a cat and mouse game, man. Manny couldn't land on Floyd. I hear you, man. I don't even want to debate that. That fight was trash. I don't care. That fight was trash. I had Manny winning. That fight. I don't do the, when I score boxing, I don't do nitpick punches, right? It's the nitpickers, right? That's what they do with boxing, right? Oh, in this round, he landed 2 more punches than that round. And then in this round, he threw 4 punches, but he landed 2. And Manny threw 6 punches, but he landed 1. So I think that Floyd, no. Anyway, that fight is trash. Forget, Floyd ain't nowhere near as good as Crawford. Floyd, and legacy-wise, Manny Pacquiao got Floyd beat. The only difference is he beat Manny. But you can beat a guy and still have a better legacy. Because if that's not a fact, then Leon Spinks has a better legacy than Muhammad Ali. And we know that's not true. So at the end of the day, people going to remember the warrior in Manny Pacquiao. And people are going to remember the runner in Floyd. Straight up. Laura threw more. Scull thought he could win a fight throwing 13 punches. Delusional promotion. Yeah, okay. Laura did throw more punches, but he didn't land nothing. All them little pity-pat punches. You don't win a boxing match like that. And we're not even going to talk about Laura. I can make a whole video on Laura. Because somehow, You could see his hairline starting in the middle of his head, and all of a sudden he get knockouts. He couldn't get a knockout to save his life at 154. I can make a whole video on that, but I'm not. I'm not even going to do that. But we got to stop this back foot. It's just the automatic, you the winner, you the winner. Because if I was like for instance, if I was judging the Haney versus Ramirez fight, I would have made that a draw. Too much running and not enough activity in a 3-round fight. 3-minute round fight. Each round 3 minutes. No way I would have gave that fight to Haney. That fight would have been a draw. Because you can't run around for 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and then fight for 15 seconds. I'm sorry, I can't give you that round. And then the other guy's chasing you, not doing nothing either. But at the same time, we always can't blame the guy coming forward. Sometimes the gap is so far, I can't close the gap. Excuse me. I can't cut off the ring. Because you're 15 feet ahead of me. And every time I get close, you run or you grab when I'm about to swing, you duck under and grab like you're about to do a double leg takedown. To me, that's not beautiful boxing. Now, it may be beautiful boxing to some people, but the MOBC don't see that as beautiful boxing. Beautiful boxing is Usyk and AJ, the first fight. Lomachenko versus Kambosos. Tio versus Kambosos. Shakur when he fought Valdez, the one time that Shakur, displayed good boxing. That's good boxing. What's that kid name? He won his rematch in the 130 division. The kid that's kind of big. Forrest? I can't remember his name. That's good boxing. What's up, Bruce? Salute. I'm surprised Floyd don't have his own track sheet. Well, he got his own water, apparently. I seen a clip of him. Not his own water, but I guess he's sponsored by some water company. He should have his own shoe, though, right? He should have his own shoe, right? The TMT running shoes or whatever. Or get these shoes, give the shoe a name he can't read. Give it some type of, because he can't read, But you got Scull and Haney running around in their hokas, right? Running around in their hokas, doing the. And what was up with Haney and the strap on his shoes? Oh, what happened to wearing regular shoelaces? What happened to having boxing shoes and you lace them up with the stupid Velcro? Stupid Velcro. Get out of here with that. Oh, I'm going to put Velcro. They had to tape it up. Because you want to be fashionable when you in the ring. You in there, you like that dude that get on the basketball court, got the knee pad, he got the headband, he got the wristband, he got the Jordans, he got the jersey on, he got he walking in the gym, the backpack, right? He got his Gatorade in his hand, he bouncing the ball, you feel me? And then he get on the court and he get on the court and he in there like Reese, Angel Reese in there. He wearing all that gear, but he in there playing basketball like Angel Reese. That's what Haney was doing. Got on the fancy shoes. And you remember, he fought Ryan Garcia with the Timberland shoes or whatever. Wasn't it like some Timberland shoes? Gucci, whatever it was. What happened to the old school boxing shoes with the laces? That's the era I come from. When I used to box, I didn't even have them. They gave us shoes from the locker room. somebody else's shoes. If you didn't have your own gloves, you had to wear somebody's gloves, boxing gloves, stinking, smelling like straight sweat, putting on the they didn't have no antiseptic spray or alcohol spray on the headgear. They just wiped it down, you put it on. The only thing you had to bring in there is your own mouthpiece. I mean, they had some too, but what happened to the old school shoelaces? You tie it up. Haney had the Sandlot chucks with the strap. Hey, for real, man. Come on, man. What was he wearing, man? Look at Sandler and Pep. Pep was on the back foot and still throw. Yeah, that perfect example. Sandler was a nightmare to Willie Pep. I believe they fought 4 times, 4 or 5 times. Pep won 1 out of the 4 or 5 times. Pep won 1 of them. But in order for him to beat Sandler when he won, he had to fight him. Now, maybe it was a bad night. Whatever the case is, he had to fight him, and he won. Sandler will be if in same day weigh-in, he will be a monster at 126 against these guys. Because you're not going to have time to breathe. You got to fight. You can't be in there like William Scull. Period. Anyway, this is the MOBC, my own boxing community. Salute everyone. Salute Bruce, Tony, Antonio, UGC, Charles. I see y'all, man. Salute. Tony, Charles, all y'all, man. Salute, 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 salute.